Hello, Surrender Sisters. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tyra, and I wanted to share my experience with you guys about fasting. The title of this video is called Fasting Yes You Can. So God has incorporated fasting into my life here for a few years, and I fast weekly. So he has it to where I'm fasting weekly, and I do all kinds of fasts. Obviously, no food, and just water, and then sometimes no water. But the fast that I really want to talk about in particular is the dry fast and my experience with dry fasting. And so, which was not a good one to say the least, when the Lord first brought it back to me. Well, when he first brought it to me, which was last year, around March, actually, this month, because today is March the 1st, 2025. So he brought it to me around March as I was visiting an aunt. And how it came about was I was looking at a YouTube video. And, well, was it a video? Let me think. I think it was a video. It may have been a post where the woman of God was talking about doing a 3-day dry fast. And I was like, okay, well, that's not for me. So let me just keep on going. And I was watching, then it came back again. I was just scrolling on YouTube and I saw another woman of God, and she was talking about doing a dry fast. She did a video and she was talking about doing a dry fast, and she mentioned the same woman of God that I initially saw the first post. And I was like, God, are you really telling me about doing a dry fast? And I was just like, in my mind, I cannot do this. I cannot do this. I mean, I can do it. I can do it with, no food but water for 3 days, because I've done that a few times, the 3-day no food fast. But 3 days, no food or water, my mind was just blown away. Like, no, I can't do that. I mean, and so I literally went into a mini depression about it, because for one thing, I didn't want to be disobedient to God, because I knew he was telling me to do that type of fast, but I didn't know how to do it. My mind couldn't grasp the concept of not having water for 3 days. And so, when I was leaving down there, I think it was on a Tuesday, I was leaving my aunt and I was coming back to Houston. And so the whole time on the trip, I was seeing 777, and obviously 777 means to fast. If you look it up in Strong's Concordance, and God was using that number. He showed that to me a couple of years ago, or maybe a year ago. And so every time I see 777, I knew to fast. And so I was just he was showing it to me back to back. Even in my dash, when I got in the car, it said 777. And so every billboard was 777. I was like, okay, God, I know to fast, but I still didn't want to do a dry fast. Not even so that I didn't want to do it. I guess obviously my flesh didn't want to do it, but I just didn't think that I could do it. And that in itself was just making it just so seem impossible for me to do that. And so I was crying. I literally was in tears behind it, because I just didn't know what to do. I didn't want to be disobedient to God, but I just couldn't even see me doing that. So anyway, I think the next day I was leaving Houston and going back to Shreveport, because at the time I was living in Shreveport. And on the way there, I was listening to, I had it on YouTube, and I was just listening to a playlist, I think. And so it came around to another woman of God that I'm subscribed to, and her name is Joy Blair, and she's always talking about fasting and different fasts that she, does. And so I just happened to click on it, and I'm like, okay, let me see what she's talking about. And so she was talking about fasting and how the Lord told her to go on a liquid fast, or I think a 40-day liquid fast. And so she was just saying that she thought that was she couldn't do it. And the Lord allowed her to alternate the days. And so when she said that, it's like a light bulb went off in me. And that's what God was telling me. And then that's when he started downloading to me. He said, Tyra, like, I'm going to grace you through this. You can do it. Just do like 24 hours on and then 24 hours off until you finish it. And so then that just started, I began to have peace in my spirit, because I was like, okay, well, that's doable. I could, after I do the 24 hours, then I can eat something and drink or whatever and then do it again. And so once I made it back home, I went ahead on and I did it. I think I started like at 4:00 that evening, and it was okay. It was hard. Obviously, any type of fast that you do, your body's going to fight you, your flesh is going to fight you on it, telling you can't do it, but just keep going. And so once I finished that one, that second day after, I alternated, I just went right on through. I didn't even alternate anymore after the second day. I just went straight through with the second and the third day. And it was difficult. I'm telling you, one of the most difficult things that I've done, but I did it. Even with alternating it, God was just like, we'll just build up to it. And so I've done it a few times after that. This here lately, the last time, which was in February, when I did it without drinking any water. I mean, because before I would have to drink, like on the third day, I would be so weak, like a little sip of water, but I did it with no water, no food for the entire 3 days. So I just wanted to encourage you, just share my experience with you, just encourage you. Your body's going to tell you, no, you cannot. It's going to make it seem like it's impossible, but yes, you can. I just want to tell you to push through. Whatever God is calling us to do, he will grace us to do it. He will give us the capacity to do that thing. It doesn't mean that it won't be difficult, but you can do it. You can do it. So fasting, yes, you can. Regardless of what kind of fast it is, just start small and just know that God will grace you. He will give you his grace. He will grace us to do whatever and give us the capacity to do whatever he's calling us to do. But of course, you just have to start, because your mind is always going to fight you. I don't care if it's just fasting for breakfast, and you're not used to fasting. Your body, that flesh is going to fight you. So just keep going. I hope that this video encouraged you to keep pressing forward. And just know that if the Lord is calling you on a fast, that he will grace you. And that just because he may say like a 3-day fast or fast from whatever. He knows where each one of us is, on our walk with him. And he knows what we can handle and what we can. And even if you screw up and you mess up and you don't complete it, just start back. Start wherever you are. Ask God to grace you, repent, and just keep going until you do. But just don't give up. All right. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And as always, if this video blessed you, I encourage you to share it with someone. And always, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys on the next video. All right.